Hello everyone, I'm Brahmithra. The Dark Herald update came in. Um, this is not a live reaction. I've already read the update. I've got some stuff all lined up here to talk about it. Um, so I've already read it. It came out the very last minute that it possibly could do. It came out like an hour before the day ended on the last day of the month that it was told it would come out on. That's the last minute, last moment that you could possibly wait. Waited as long as you possibly could with this update. And when it came out, the time it came out, I was part of doing a CCG playtest. I was part of that, so I wasn't playing. I was just there giving feedback, talking and stuff. But so I couldn't do a live reaction. And because those are, Kingdom Death games are long, 2 or 3 hours and stuff like that, or the game, I had already read it. So I have my opinions on it. So that's why I have other stuff brought open. Like last Black Friday's update, the one that leads into what to expect from Dark Herald. And then update from 3 years ago and 2.5 years ago, which are similar to this one, the Dark Herald one. I'm going to go over all of it. Oh, look. All right, this is a re-recording of this intro, right? I did the intro. I talked about the email address, all that stuff that's in there. I'm still going to talk about it. I just want to quickly do this, right? I really enjoy Kingdom Death. I do not mind how long Poots takes to do things, right? It's just going to happen. I don't mind. Now, like, I'm all in on Wave 4 and everything. I have everything backed. Not everything. There's some things I don't have backed, right? Some of the I didn't do many of the pinups. Some of the promo stuff I didn't do. So it's not all in on everything. I don't have like the shirts and stuff, and there's some other like promo stuff I didn't get. I don't think I got like the new promo or the old promo reprints from Kickstarter 1 or whatever. So I don't buy everything, but as far as expansions go and all that stuff and some of the Wanderers, yeah, I got them all. I got a lot of them when the Kickstarter was live. I didn't get all of them when Kickstarter was live, but so like that's full disclosure. So I just want to talk about perspective real quick on an update. All right? You go into it based on what you think could happen and the perspective that you know from your background or whatever. People evaluate their experience or their idea of something. They use a frame of reference that they have. That's how it works. And normally, Kingdom Death, when they say they're going to do an update, it is a big update. Now, I'm not saying that all of them have to be, but even Sacred Backer Times have more information than this Dark Herald update has. There's a lot of stuff that could have been covered in this, and I'm going to talk about it, right? So when it cuts to the other camera where it goes down to the lower and bring up all that stuff, that's recorded after this intro. I really wanted to re-record this after giving some time, more thought, and I could talk about my perspective on the update itself. People just expected more, right? And I'm not saying expected more of an update, because he did say it would be a short update. They just thought that more than one aspect of Campaigns of Death would be talked about. Or maybe a more important aspect of Campaigns of Death. I mean, it is important that the aspect that does get talked about does need an update. And what they're doing in Dark Herald reveals about it isn't exactly new information. We've had it 3 years ago. It was alluded towards. And I'll show all that. And it is neat that they show progress, but it doesn't really there's a lot of other stuff that could have been talked about, right? There's a lot of Gorn prologue. There's a lot. I talk about this too in the videos, you'll see. But there's a lot of other stuff that could have been talked about. It's more so just this is a deflating update. To me, even. And I don't care. I'm not going to cancel my pledge. I'm not going to ask for a refund. I totally understand people who are going to cancel their pledge and people who understand, like, they want a refund. I totally get that, and I understand why you would want it, right? There's really is no sign of this stuff ever nearing completion. Wave 4, Gambler's Chest and Campaigns of Death, I'm pretty sure will near completion. He's talked about splitting up Wave 4. Perhaps Wave 4, not all of it sees the light of day. And that happened in Kickstarter 1 too, right? Lantern Festival was canceled, and the day he canceled it, he announced a new Kickstarter. There is a possibility, I'm not saying that it will happen, but this is why I want to talk about perspective. Kickstarter 1 canceled Lantern Festival, which was going to be a big, grand ending to the original People of the Lantern campaign. It was canceled. And when he canceled it, he just announced a new Kickstarter. The last couple updates have really focused on that blushing owl or that raccoon. He loves to show things he's working on in the future that have nothing to do with this Kickstarter. It is possible that he might just delete or cancel things from Wave 4, and he's well entitled to do so. He is an OG Kickstarter person, right? He's one of the people who started board game Kickstarters long ago, when Kickstarter was about funding an artist. That's what he went into it. That's what he took out of Kickstarter, right? It's people who are looking to fund an artist, fulfill their dream. That's the agreement that he entered Kickstarter with, right? He's not the new Kickstarter people who just throw in tons of stretch goals and print a bunch of minis and look to get tons of money and self-publish so they don't have to split it with a publisher or something, right? And that's fine. That's new Kickstarter. He's not new Kickstarter. You're not in a business agreement with him. Your money goes towards him creating this. And that is where his mindset's from. That's his perspective of Kickstarter. If your perspective of Kickstarter differs from him, you should get out. And that's not a bad thing. And if you want to express your opinion and tell him in the comments section that you don't agree with his opinion, that's fine. He should not be able to tell you to not do that. I don't know why he opened up this opened up this update by saying that. That was really weird. You're entitled. You heard just as much of this as anyone else, right? He says, don't be toxic to backers. Don't be toxic to me. That's all. He's right. Don't do that. Don't just be super negative and super toxic to other backers. They're in it just as much as you are. But at the same time, you're free to complain. You don't. It looks bad for him because he's taking so long, and he doesn't want his comments section just constantly calling him a scam and everything. But he's not doing anything to make it look like it's not. And if he wanted to, knowing that he got huge backlash from Black Friday this year, the 2021 Black Friday, and now the Omicron update, he got very large amounts of backlash. And this was bare minimum. This update just swooped in an hour before the day ended just so he could say that he doesn't lie to you. He didn't lie to you, right? He updated you within January, like he said. He had an hour to spare. He had an hour to spare, guys. He had an hour, a whole hour. He made it in. He got in on time. That's it. That's just it. It's just disappointing, right? It's just disappointing, and that's fine, right? That's just it. So it's about perspective, right? What you want from Kickstarter, what you think he should be doing on Kickstarter, what he thinks he should be doing on Kickstarter. People have different perspectives on all this. And it's going to clash, and it's going to be toxic. And I think he just doesn't care anymore. And I don't expect him to reply on comments. I haven't seen him doing big, long comments and stuff. I think he's just checked out. And if you email that email address, that's fine. Do it. But I enjoyed what this update had to say about what it did decide to say. I don't enjoy that it didn't say much, but I do enjoy what it did happen to say. And it wasn't a big update. He didn't promise a big update. And again, I think it's just time to reevaluate our perspectives of what he considers an update going forward. I don't think he's going to be open anymore about what he's doing. He's very paranoid about how he controls the boss battlers, and anybody who does anything is stealing from him or copying him. Okay. I don't know. He takes a lot of influence from other things, and you could say he might straight lift things from other things that he takes inspiration from. Berserk, mostly, that manga. But, it is what it doesn't matter. I just think it's time to reevaluate what you're getting from this, and he puts it very elegantly when he starts this off and calls his family and everything. So he was very blunt this time. So good, kudos to him for being so blunt. But let's just get into it. What I'm going to do is pull up the update from last Black Friday, and then we're just going to talk about it. Black Friday's update, where they talked about the Dark Herald, right here. So this is where they talked about Dark Herald. See, there we go, Dark Herald. Next year, we will be starting a bit of a new thing. I'm excited to introduce the Dark Herald, an entity dedicated to bringing everyone news about this massive Kickstarter on a monthly basis. Every month, the Dark Herald will meet with the team, review where we are with a given project, and then create a nice catch-up to share here on Kickstarter. There has been such a tremendous amount of work and development made on a staggering amount of projects, and we felt this was an ideal time to get a bit more organized as we march this insane Kickstarter to its close. Tentative schedule, January. Campaigns of Death. So that is the one that we just got last night. The Campaigns of Death update. Now let's read this again. There has been such a tremendous amount of work and development made on a staggering amount of projects. Okay, so we should get quite a bit of an update, right? It seems like a tremendous amount of work. A tremendous amount of work. And a staggering amount of projects. All right. Now, let's look at, here it is, Dark Herald. Campaigns of Death. Our very first Dark Herald update. How exciting. I thought I would give us a quick forward before turning the update over to them. All this time, it has been exclusively me writing all the updates. So this is quite a new and strange. But before all that, all this time, it has been exclusively me writing all the updates. So this is quite a new and strange. But before all that, Gambler's Chest. We are not yet finished. We are not finished yet. But we are getting closer every single day. Art is getting finalized. Layouts are flying out the door. Testing continues. Okay. So they don't have all the art there. So how are you sending layouts? If you don't have all the art done, oh well. I guess whatever. Here within the Kickstarter, I view us all as a family. Sometimes we get into it, and sometimes people need to really say what they feel, and I have supported that. Oh, so he supports letting people address and say things how they like. He supports it. The reason I say family is because despite everything, I will always love you and I will always love Kingdom Death. Neither of those fundamental things will ever change. I understand that the delays caused both by me personally and from world events, which are not under my control, has really been frustrating. I am sorry. However, I cannot and will not compromise Kingdom Death. If you feel the Gambler's Chest has taken too long, then I will say it has taken the exact amount of time it has needed. Oh, But I thought things were delayed because of world events. Oh, and you. But it's still not done. And we're still world eventing. But it's taken the exact amount of time it's needed. So I don't know what that means. I guess it's kind of confusing. I don't know what that means. So in his opinion, it hasn't been delayed because it's taken the exact amount of time that it has needed. So if he was delaying something that he felt like, it needed more time, but he said this is the exact amount of time. All these delays were like necessary. Even the ones that were out of his control, those were necessary too, I guess. I don't know. I would much rather embrace the absurdity of the situation than make excuses. And so, personally, I am celebrating the near completion of this 5-year project. To that end, I ask you vocal members of the Kickstarter here to contribute constructively to any conversation. If you feel strongly and need to say something, especially if you think it will be negative, hurtful to me, my team, or the backers, send an email here. I need to say this at kingdomdeath.com. So it's sometimes we get into it, and sometimes people need to really say what they feel, and I have supported that. So, if you feel strongly and need to say something, especially if you be negative or hurtful to me, my team or my backers, send an email here. So he no longer supports this. He doesn't like that you're just, doing things, just saying things. He'd rather you email this email address, which he will check. Someone will read it. So please, push difficult comments, thoughts there, instead of posting them here. What you say here will not change my mind, nor will it make me work any faster. It might, however, make other backers feel crumby or ruin someone's day. No one needs that right now. Wait a minute. I just want to read that one more time. If you feel strongly and need to say something, especially if you think it will be negative, hurtful to me, my team, or my backers, send an email here. So, to that end, I ask you, vocal members of the Kickstarter, to contribute constructively. So he wants you to contribute constructively to any conversation. But he also, at the same time, instead of posting them, what you say here will not change my mind. Right? So that implies that people who have been right here, sometimes we get into it, sometimes, and feel the need to say, and he supports that, right? So he supports you posting here, but then he says, anything that you say here will never change my mind, nor will it make me work any faster. So it sounds like he's never supported you ever giving comments or anything, right, in the Kickstarter, because it's not going to change his mind. But it might make someone else feel bad, and no one needs that. Yeah, I agree 100% with this, right? There's no need to attack each other in the comment section, right? That's kind of ludicrous when you think about it. That's not necessary, like, at all, and I 100% agree with that, right? There's no need to attack other backers, right? Everybody is in the same exact, like, place when it comes to, like, support. Everybody who is posting pledged at some level to support this project. Everyone is the same and on equal footing in that regard, right? I think everybody is waiting for Gambler's Chest. If you pledged at all, I think you're getting Gambler's Chest. Sure, there might be more people who are more invested in Wave 4 things and all that, but if they are commenting on the Kickstarter, they have just as much say as you do, and you should treat everyone exactly the same, right? That is 100% correct. That is very good for Poots to make this thing where he's specifically asking, if you really think someone's being negative or something and you want to infight amongst yourselves, you really should not just do that in the comment section. I agree with that. However, he clearly says someone will read it, so please push difficult comments and thoughts here instead of posting them here. I don't know. Even let's say that someone does sit around and read this, right? I don't know, and it ultimately doesn't matter, Because in the very next sentence, he says, "What you say here will not change my mind, nor will make me work any faster." It's just a way to get negative comments off the Kickstarter, right? He doesn't like, and 100% agree with this, right? There should be no personal attacks or anything. That is 100% true. That is always true. However, he's not doing it. He just wants it off of there so it doesn't, mess with someone else. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Originally, like this, you could read this, and even myself had thought this originally, that this is just like an email address. It's not fake, because obviously it exists, right? It's not fake email, which was originally what I might have said originally, but I re-recorded this intro because I didn't want to say fake. It's not fake. It obviously exists, and if you email it there, it will go to someone who's part of Kingdom Death. Whether they read it or not, it ultimately doesn't matter, right? This email address is just nothing. It's just an ultimately doesn't matter. As he said right here, where is it? What you say here will never change his mind, nor will it make him work any faster. It's just a filter for people to just vent, and that's perfectly fine. It doesn't matter if someone reads it. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to the person who sends it. It doesn't matter to the venter. It doesn't matter to the... All that matters is maybe that the infighting between someone might stop. And that's a very good thing. But ultimately, this is just a very weird thing. It's just a very weird forward intro, whatever you want to call it, to this Dark Herald. And it's not even a new thing. This was said, I'm pretty sure, on the Black Friday. Go back to this. I'm pretty sure this same exact statement was said on the Black Friday thing. Right? That it's just... He just doesn't like the toxicity of the comments. I don't know if it was said on the Black Friday thing or if it was said on the... Black Friday update. Gotta stay away from scrolling through that. It's just fine. So, whatever. It is what it is. It's just a weird thing, right? It's just a weird thing. So, very important, pledge responsibly. If my delays and the way I am pursuing my dream of creating the best content I can is causing you anguish, please, I urge you to reach out to support@kingdomdeath.com. You are supporting the pursuit of my selfish creation, and there is no reason for you to offer or for you to suffer or feel terrible for or from that. Please be kind to yourself first, especially if you are on the verge of posting something here that another backer might feel is toxic. He just wants everybody to stop being toxic, but at the same time, he doesn't want to hear any more. He doesn't like the toxicity towards him. He doesn't like it. And he doesn't like the toxicity towards other people. And I agree with that. At the same time, he's not going to solve any of those problems, right? He's going to continue to do things the way he wants to do it. And he just wants you to shut up and take it. That's it. That's it. Email that email. Don't post about it anymore. Email that email address and just don't talk about it. That's what this is. That's... The takeaway here is, I just don't think... So usually sometimes after an update, he'll hang out in the comments section or something and maybe post, give a little more insight. I don't think that's happening anymore. That's just not going to happen anymore. You're going to get what you get, right? This is it. I think at this time, I think both parties are just done with this, right? There's a lot of toxicity in the comments. They just don't like it, right? They're going to wait for Gambler's Chest, and then a lot of people, I think, are just going to cancel Wave 4. Fine, right? It's not unreasonable at this point. Who knows how far out Wave 4 is going to be? basically, it's beyond. Wave 4 is either you really want the content because you love the game, or you should just keep it because you're going to resell it. That way you kind of made money on your investment. Otherwise, you should just get out, because I don't think Wave 4 is anywhere near getting done. Anywhere near getting done. And I don't even, as I'm reading this right now, Gambler's Chest, you have no idea how close it is to being done. He refuses to say. So let's just go to the Dark Herald, right? You're just paying him to do whatever it is that he wants, right? And who knows what he's going to do. He's not going to give you that much information. He's not going to tell you how far along he is. You just invested in his dream and you just wait. That's what it is now. That's the point it is. So, Dark Herald number 1. Hello and welcome to the very first Dark Herald update. I'm the Dark Herald, an entity dedicated to bringing you news and notes regarding the Kickstarter. When I'm not blasting my horn across the darkness, I work as a member of Team Death on testing and design. Huh. So where was that Dark Herald thing? Where was that? Dark Herald. Here it is. Every month, the Dark Herald will meet with the team, review where we are with a given project, and then create a nice catch-up to share here on Kickstarter. I'm excited to introduce the Dark Herald, an entity dedicated to bringing everyone news. So it's an entity where every month the Dark Herald will meet with the team. Okay. Hello, I'm the Dark Herald, an entity dedicated to bringing you notes about the team. Cool. I work as a member of Team Death. Oh, he's a designer. Oh, he's a designer. He's part of the testing team. He meets with them every day. He should know way more. He's part of the team. He's not some new, different entity. He doesn't have to meet with the team. He is the team. He's Team Death. He's on the team. He should know way more about this stuff. He works there. Okay. These days, Adams is quite busy with development in logistics. Really? What's in logistics right now? Nothing. Right? What is being shipped right now? Oh, getting ready to ship Gambler's Chest, I guess. There should be nothing in logistics right now. Not that I know of. I mean, there's stuff that he's probably still doing, making sales and stuff, even though he said he wouldn't do any more sales. But I guess trying to deal with... Oh, that's right. Card packs still haven't made it to other countries and stuff, I don't think. Like, I think there's still card packs going around. Yeah, logistics is a nightmare. That's why he spends so much. But he spends a lot of time doing it. A lot of time. He's so busy with it. So I'm here to provide updates while he's burning the midnight lantern oil. Okay. Our last several updates have covered the Gambler's Chest, but we thought it would be fun to change it up and revisit other announced projects that have not gotten as much of the spotlight. Really? Cool. So, let's see. You're going to revisit other announced projects that have not gotten as much of a spotlight. Okay, so that means you're going to show some stuff that's never been spotlit before. Cool. Today, I'm thrilled to recap what you can expect in Campaigns of Death while giving you a few new glimpses into that project. Okay. Campaigns of Death has already been we already kind of know. So it's going to be new glimpses. Maybe he'll answer questions about, like, how Gambler's Chest is going to be involved in it. Is Gorm still a prologue? Ark Survivors? Any of the things that we've been asking about? Is Manhunter still going? Manhunter and Slenderman, are they going to be new nodes? Like, are they actual nemesis? There's a lot of cool stuff that people want to know about Gambler's Chest. I mean, there's lots of cool stuff. Is there going to be Croc and Smog Singer? Is there going to be calcified gear for that? They showed a lot of other calcified gear. Ooh, they also said that they're going to do new campaigns with new core monsters. Everybody wants to know about those core monsters. Oh, Devil Slenderman. That was also pitched once before. Devil Slenderman. I mean, there's so many new things that need to be revamped for Campaigns of Death. So much cool stuff. Oh, nodes. What nodes are what now, right? Is Lion God, is that a node 4? Is that going to be like a king node? Is Lion God getting reworked? Lion God also has Silver City. How is that going to play into Silver City? Oh, Flower Knight's getting a whole bunch of new AI cards from the Gambler's Chest. How is that going to work out in Campaigns of Death? Will I need those? Is Flower Knight getting another revamp? You didn't change much about it in 1.6, but you did get the Vespertine Bow. Will I need to get a 1.6 legendary card pack if I want to change up all that stuff, or is that stuff going to be included in Campaigns of Death? Oh man, there's so many questions about Campaigns of Death. I hope it doesn't just talk about Lonely Tree. Let's see. Campaigns of Death here, Series 1. Okay, so there's probably going to be Series 2, which is awesome, right? That's already been confirmed. That was talked about way later. Each is updated to bring them in line with the current Kingdom Death rules and overall experience. So current means it's going to just bring everything up to 1.5 because Gambler's Chest is not out. So that's fine. We also have created all new synergy content to make these expansions even more fun to play with each other. That is true. We have seen the synergy content. If I go back to Black Friday, I think... Where is it? I thought he talked about Campaigns of Death. Yeah, Campaigns of Death here. So this is the Black Friday update with the Dark Herald. This is, right? Let's talk about Campaigns of Death. This project is thankfully very much on its way. There's a ton of work being done. With all the balances and adjustments to our existing monsters long signed off on. Campaigns of Death, everything's been long signed off on. Man, I bet Dark Herald has a lot of stuff to talk about. He is a member of the team, after all. He's actually a tester. He works there every day. He should know a lot. And all this stuff's been long signed off on. Long signed off on. Currently, what's left to finish development on are pieces of content for some of the new campaigns that will be part of the experience along the way, with playtesting the new content to ensure ensure feels right with the context of everything, including the new monsters in Gambler's Chest. So here on the last Black Friday, Campaigns of Death here, Poots says the monsters will be part of Gambler Chest. The strain system could use some layout tweaks, but is otherwise strong. Oh, I thought everything was long signed off on. Oh, adjustments to existing monsters are long signed off on. Okay. While working on Gambler Chest, we constantly cross-checked and ensured that all the new groundwork we were laying would fit nicely within the strain system, where it introduces a meta to the structure of campaigns and campaign generation. So this is like the new synergy stuff, right? Ushering in a death world wherein multiple campaigns are run. In the course of development, we complicated and uncomplicated this process several times before finally landing on a system that gelled nicely. The end result is compellingly simple. Each campaign can have up to 10 strain cards. They are divided between 6 minor and 4 major strains. A minor strain might be something as simple as a new vermin type being added to your game, while a major one would be the entire scout system. Wow. Right here, it sounds like a lot of stuff happened to Campaigns of Death. Stuff that we had never heard about whatsoever, ever before. There's a lot of information in this one paragraph. This is one small little paragraph. This is one small little paragraph here that explained so much of Campaigns of Death, so much of what to expect from it. Pretty much Dark Herald would only need to write a small little paragraph that would tell us about the prologue, about all this stuff here. Let's see what we got. Okay. Here it is. Campaigns of Death also introduces the strain system, a new way for players to generate. So this is back to the Campaigns of Death, the Herald one here. Campaigns ever-evolving ecology. Additional changes await with brand new campaign variants to further test your skills. So, hardcover collection. Awesome. Here's the actual Campaigns of Death update now. All of Kingdom Death Monster's original expansions have been collected and updated in one hardcover volume. Perfect for use and display. The rules and glossary section have all been consolidated for convenient access. This is the most amazing thing. This is why it was originally only $40 when you pledged for it. I basically just wanted this when I pledged $40 for it. I'm happy to get all the extra stuff, but if I could have just gotten this, that would have been amazing. Would have rather just kind of had just this 3 years ago. Modernizing expansion content from 1.0 to the present is more than simply updating the rules and technicalities. The team thought Campaigns of Death would be the perfect opportunity to include some balance adjustments to give some love to underused content. I 100% agree. This is all sounding amazing. We have also included a bevy of cards and hard plastics to support the all-new content found within. Below is the full feature list you can expect from Campaigns of Death. A hardcover volume, Ancient Butcher Monster Miniature, Dung Beetle Baron and Baron Ball Monster Miniatures, the Verdant Lord Monster Miniature, Vocal Spidicules Monster Miniature, Infant Sunstalker Monster Miniature, People of the Stars Intimacy Couple Miniatures, People of the Sun Intimacy Couple Miniatures, Warrior of the Sun Miniatures, Sunstalker Caretaker Miniatures, Dark Flower Armor Set, Sky King Armor Set, Strain System Rules, Strain Milestone Cards, Expansions of Death Rules Updates and Adjustments, Expansions of Death Synergy Content, Blank Settlement Record Sheets, Death World Record Sheets to track meta campaign progress. This is amazing. This is so amazing. Death World here. Hope he talks about it. People of the Blighted Valley 30-year campaign. Neat. People of the Mirrorstone 30-year campaign. Ballad of the Green Knight 30-year campaign. Grindhouse 5-year campaign. People of the Gloom 5-year campaign. Awesome. Ancient Butcher, Campaigns of Death, Final, Core Monster, Hard Plastic. Have I seen this? This is misspelling Campaigns of Death, so that must have been Poots. Have I seen this before? Oh yeah, Update 66 from July 31st, 2019. I am delaying Wave 3 projects by 1 year. Okay, well it's been 2 years and 6 months since this. So you thought maybe you'd finish by July 31st, 2020. You missed it. Okay, let's go down to the Campaigns of Death section in this update. Let's see what this update from 2.5 years ago had to say. Campaigns of Death. First, oh, here we go. Campaigns of Death. First, let's take a look at the final hard plastic version of Ancient Butcher. Yup, there's the spelling mistake. Campaings of Death. Let's go back. Campaings of Death. Oh, it's a reused image. So, yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9. The Ancient Butcher can be used as a core monster, much like the Watcher or a finale monster. Oh wait, this is the old update. Oh, this doesn't say anything about that. I mean, you could have you copy and pasted the images. Why don't you just copy and paste the update? Dung Beetle Baron, hard plastic. Oops. So all the, people of the Blighted Valley, 30 years. Oh, this one actually tells you what the stuff's about. Dung Beetle Baron, here it is. Let's go back. Oh, they got rid of the... This is not just a copy and paste, I guess. This one got rid of the... Well, is it still the same image? No, it's different images. Neat. Or is it different? Maybe is it just better quality images? They fixed the spelling error. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, the sprue. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5, 6. Oh, so they show the sprue now. Neat. So there's the sprue. Very neat. And then the Verdant Lord. This is new. Slightly new. Different angle. Could have painted it in 2.5 years. But, again, Campaings of Death. Was that on the original? Oh no, so this is just the hard plastic. So it's hard to tell the difference between these two updates. But this is the new update, the one I'm on right now. This is the old update. So this is Verdant Lord. Neat. Looks neat. So this is the old update from 2.5 years ago. Infant Sunstalker. Oh, there's the sprue. What sprue is this? Oh, this is Intimacy Couple sprue. Campaigns of Death. This is spelled correctly. Is this one Infant Sunstalker, Campaigns of Death? So there's the Infant Sunstalker. This one just has Vocal Spidicules. Is that the Infant Sunstalker? Oh yeah, there's Infant Sunstalker. And the sprues. Here's the hard plastic. This is the old update. So this is the old update now. Here's all this sprues, hard plastic. Well, here's the Vocal Spidicules. So yep, that's all in there. Okay. So I guess you get to see them in plastic now, a little bit. Pretty sure we've already seen all these were a long time ago. I can go back and look at the other update. This is actually old. This model's really old. These are like 8 years old. They're just redone now in plastic. Synergy content. So this is the butcher and stuff. So we'd have to go back some. Let me go back to the other update on Campaigns of Death from like 3 years ago. This is from like 3 years ago. Hardcover book now includes 1.5 version of all current expansions in one place. Okay, so this is like 3 years ago. This content still is work in progress and subject to change. Thank you. Okay, so here's like what to expect from Gorm and stuff. Players excited to gather around a lantern horn in a Gorm-infested territory are getting a prologue Gorm to start their journey. I wonder if that's still in the new one. Well, I'm sure we'll talk about it. Campaigns of Death is bursting with cross-expansion synergies. Okay, we already knew that. Synergy content is brand new Campaigns of Death content that your campaign can unlock when you play with certain expansions at the same time. For example, the Slenderman's Dark Water can be combined with the Flower Knight's Blooms to craft the Dark Flower armor set. Neat. This is really cool. Very neat. And here's Lonely Tree. Let's do a deeper dive on one particular piece of synergy content that has branched into radically new directions. The Lonely Tree. Originally slated to be merely a large piece of plastic, the Lonely Tree miniature was simply too seductive to not be given its own showdown. It already has its own showdown, so... Okay, it already has one. That's not new. It is already a showdown. Still, with only one level, well, that's not true. It has 3 levels. We felt the original Lonely Tree expansion was just a bit bare. Okay, but I mean, so you felt it was bare with only 1 level, so then you added 3 and you still think it's bare? Or did you just not know that it has 3? Both are possible. He did forget that Manhunter has 4 levels. Now its leaves are full of new life, presenting a revamped showdown and rewards. Awesome. Can also be mutated by cross-expansion synergies. Depending on the other expansions in your campaign, its roots have either been soaked in dark water or fruit genetically modified by radiation. So that's 2 options. Let's go down and see what... look at all this other stuff. Let's go down and... Here's Lonely Tree. For too long, the Lonely Tree has lived in the middle ground between terrain and true expansion. This update makes the Lonely Tree Showdown more accessible and more rewarding. Sweeping changes to the Showdown deck produces 4 breeds of trees with 4 new traits, new fruit rewards, and a chance to gain an axe that's hanging in its forlorn branches. Neat. Okay, completely regrown, adds gear. So this says there are 4 breeds of trees with 4 new traits, new fruit rewards, and a chance to grab an axe. Now let's go back to the Dark Herald. Let's do a deeper dive. Okay, so basically we already kind of knew that this was going to be like that. If the Dragon King is your Node 3 quarry, the Lonely Tree's fruits grow plump with combustible chemicals. If you make any contact with them, they explode with a nuclear blast, so do not try to avoid them. If you do happen to trip on a root or something else terrible, or if something else terrible forces you to touch the fruit, pray there won't be any other pieces of produce in the blast zone. After all, these things do chain explode, which is super fun, but probably not the best for your survivors. If the Slenderman stalks around your settlement, the tree's minion, oh yeah, Lonely Tree has a minion now. Uses your friends as its own personal portal to teleport itself next to you. Make sure your survivors Stay grounded by keeping that insanity under control, lest you be pummeled with Slender Blight. Or you can just kill the Slender Figure itself, but be warned, Slender Figures grow back pretty fast. So this is the Slender Fruit, which I think used to look different. Let's see what it used to look like. The Dark Fruit, which modifies the Lonely Tree Showdown. So there it is, the Dark Fruit. So Lonely Lady plus Slenderman. So this was always going to be in the idea. Even 3 years ago, we knew this was going to happen. So it looks slightly different now. So that's neat. Nuclear Fruit. Maybe this was this is Slender Fruit. Okay, so this is the Slenderman Fruit. This is the Nuclear Fruit, I guess. That makes sense. And then it shows that it explodes, which is crazy. Slender Figure here. This is the Minion. This is amazing. What an awesome card. So the Lonely Figure action, right? So this is a minion. They're like shades. If there is no Lonely Figure on the showdown board, place one adjacent to the Lonely Tree and end this action. Neat. Survivor with the highest insanity. No target. Full move towards Lonely Tree. The Slender Figure exchanges places with another survivor closest to the target, if any. Then Slender Blight. Target gains +1 insanity, then suffers damage equal to their insanity to a random hit location. That can be huge amounts of damage. So long. There it is. A taste of Campaigns of Death. Hope to talk with you again soon. So that was it. Neat. Not necessarily a huge amount of new information. But I mean, information nonetheless. If you really want to know a lot about Campaigns of Death, I would suggest you just go back and read which one was this, because this pretty much sums everything up. Which one was this? Update 65, November 2018. Update 65 had just about as much. I mean, not as much. This was super neat. A lot of this stuff is super cool. A lot of lore to be explored in here too, but I mean, just having the cards ready for this stuff doesn't necessarily sell me on the fact that it's a large and tremendous amount of work has been done, right? Currently, what's left to finish development on are pieces of content from some of the new campaigns that will be part of the experience along playtesting, including the strange system could use some layout tweaks, but otherwise is strong. There's a lot of other stuff that was even... This is the one talking about the Dark Herald, right? This is last Black Friday stuff. The stuff that it talks about here would have been much better explored upon. Not that the Lonely Tree isn't worth exploring. The Lonely Tree is definitely worth exploring. It's really neat. I mean... There's a lot of reused pictures, all right? And not a ton of new stuff. I don't know. It was neat. It just makes me think that the Frog... So Frog Dog is next, right? I just have a feeling that Frog Dog is just going to be the Twitch gaming stuff that we've already seen. So that's it, right? I think you're just going to get the Twist Gaming stuff. I think if you're expecting a lot of new stuff, I just don't think you're going to get it. I don't know what to take away from this. I think you're just going to get lesser updates until Gambler's Chest comes out. So here you go. I think Gambler's Chest is going to be a divisive thing, right? I think it's going to be great. I think Gambler's Chest is going to be great. I think regardless of what's in there, it's going to be amazing. I think he's going to finish it. I think he's going to finish Campaigns of Death as well. It's all going to get done. And I think a lot of Wave 4 is going to get done. I think you should stay backed for those things. If you are a person who's looking to get a huge refund because you're just scared or you think he's scamming you, I don't think that's the case. He's not going to do that. That's not what's going to happen, right? But if you just don't... If you think that there's a risk that some of this stuff might fall through or the refunds are... That's a very possible thing that could happen. And you're justified to think that way. So if you want to pull out, I would suggest waiting for Gambler's Chest, waiting for Campaigns of Death, and waiting for the first 5 or 6 that we know are already almost done from Wave 4. And then maybe pull out if you're going to. At least wait. But then you have to ask yourself, you're going to be waiting 2 or 3 more years? It's possible. I'm shocked that I'm saying that, but it's possible. It's possible. I really thought that at least soon, after the Omicron thing and after last Black Friday, I really thought that he was going to start this Dark Herald update at least by saying that Gambler's Chest is done now. He's going to send it off to printers. But he made it sound like he just doesn't care anymore. It's going to take as long as it's going to take. It makes it sound like he might go way past February 10th. So maybe you might waiting another year is a possibility. I don't think it's going to happen, but I can't definitively say that it won't now. That's crazy. I don't. The first part of this update is what was actually the most shocking to me. And again, I just want to reiterate. I went all in on Kingdom Death. I love Kingdom Death. I will stay in with it because I don't mind, right? I can fix it myself if it's bad. You can homebrew it yourself. CCG will do it. They'll fix it. Community Edition will fix it. You just want those things. If you really love Kingdom Death, it's going to double or triple the amount of content. And that's a lot when you're talking Kingdom Death. To double and triple the amount of stuff that's already out is huge. You don't even need, if you wait and ride this one out, and then at the end he's like, Ringtail Fox campaign, baby, let's go. You could just say no. And you'll be perfectly fine because you'll never need any of that stuff. If you triple what's already out for Kingdom Death, you will never need that Kickstarter 3 ever again. I don't even know if I would go in on a Kickstarter 3. It could take 10 years. Who knows? But you would never need it ever. Once I get all this stuff from this one, I'm done, I think. I don't think I will go back. Right? Why would I? It could take forever, and I don't really want to wait around for 10 more years. So I don't think, like I said, I don't know. Just wait it out. I would just stay in, let them make all the content. But if you really, it's back to perspective. I was talking about it in Discord with other people and talking about it more on Lantern Rain and stuff like that. This is really a test of your perspective and what you want to get from Kickstarter and how willing you are to go with Poots now. This is not about whether or not the product will be good or not. This is just about some guy who's just going to just continue to do it either until he fails or succeeds, and he'll see nothing wrong with that. Right? If he were to just all of a sudden he'd just say, look, I can't do... It's the same thing with Lantern Festival. What he said, the reason for canceling Lantern Festival is it just wasn't going to be what he wanted it to be. And if he just says that with Gambler's Chest, that's a possibility now. I don't take anything off the table after how blunt he was on this. I just don't take anything off the table. He could literally just say, look, it's never going to live up to what I said. Here's all your money back. And he would have no worries about it. Despite calling everyone a family or despite doing all that stuff, he doesn't care. And I don't think he's going to do any more updates in the Kickstarter comments section, right? I don't think he's going to go to the Kickstarter comments section anymore. I don't think he cares. I think he doesn't want to be a part of it anymore. He wants you to think of him as family and praise him and give him money, but he doesn't want to be a part of it. He doesn't want to interact with your toxicness. And that's fine. Good for him. He doesn't need to interact. He doesn't owe you anything, really. He just owes you the product at the end of the day or a refund. That's it. He said it directly. Nothing you say there is going to dissuade him. So it doesn't matter. He was very blunt and good for him. So that's the Dark Herald update. I would suggest go watching Twist Gaming and their Frog Dog demo. That will probably give you way more information on Frog Dog than the Dark Herald definitely will. After this, I doubt if the Dark Herald will show you more than 2 cards. I bet the Dark Herald will just tell you that it's a frog. So it's a frog. It has a fart deck. Here's some fart cards. It was designed by, not Adam. It was designed by Anna Poots. And she wanted to put fart on this card as much as she could. This card says fart 7 times. Isn't that funny? He. See you in March. And that's fine. And will come on February 28th, an hour before the turn of the month. And that's what you'll get. So, fine. That's it. I'll see you next time on the next month.